not to sound like him here. But in any case, the Israelites, the Palestinians, the Holy Land people, let's call them the Holy Land people. This is the world around them as they saw it. And for them, the Canaanites were descendants of Ham. That is, they didn't see the Canaanites as a related people. We now see the Canaanites and the Hebrews to be related peoples in our linguistic, philological differentiation of languages. We call these peoples speaking like in Lebanon would be Canaanites, would be Semitic languages. They saw it differently. So you see, they're interested in Ham in this story, even though we're supposed to be interested in the three descendants of Noah. Noah was a tiller of soil, the first to plant the vine. He drank some of the wine, and while he was drunk, he uncovered himself in his tent. Oh, that's a no-no. I told you in the Old Testament or whatever, you can't uncover your sexual parts. Someone will jump on them. That is their view. You know, there is no, that's like the airport of Minneapolis there. You know, you can't show nakedness. People can't control themselves in the face of nakedness. Say, how do you know? Just read the stories and you'll see that is their view. That's why in the Middle East everyone is wrapped in clothes, you know, up to the eyeballs basically. And even though it's a hot climate, they've still got vast amounts of clothes on. They're not like Polynesians. You know, they don't believe in luxuriating in the beauty of nature. You know, in a open manner. Kind, I'll put it kind. So that's their culture. I'm not putting it down. I'm just explaining it. So here, you know, and this is a terrible insult. Whoever wrote this story, this is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not. You know, how should I put it? I'm not criticizing the story. I think it's good literature. But it's ridiculous history. It's ridiculous. We just praised Noah as a righteous man in his generation. The next thing we see him drunk, lolling about on a couch with his sexual parts exposed. I mean, come on, give me a break. You know, this is not historical, you see. This is poetic. Now, as poetry, it works wonderfully. This is a great writer. Why? What's this writer doing? He's sketching in a few things a story to do what? Curse the neighbors. And I told you before, he wants the neighbors cursed. Why? They didn't like them. So what does he think of? I say, this is not an open-minded person. No, this is not an open-minded person, but it's a good writer. Ahmadinejad isn't an open-minded person, but he's probably a good BS artist. You know, a speech maker or something. You don't have to be open-minded to be good at something. I mean, Lena Reich's stuff and whatever her name was did fantastic Nazi propaganda films. What is it? The Triumph of the Spirit? How many have seen that thing? That's just incredible stuff. You know, so you don't have to be a nice person to do great art. Artists aren't necessarily nice people. Picasso was a creep. You know, and I can name you a lot of other artists who are not particularly nice people. You know, these people are not trying to win a star for moral excellence. They're trying to entertain. Just go up to Hollywood then and you'll see that people who entertain in an art fashion are not necessarily, you know, high, superlative, moral people. And we've seen enough indications of that we understand that. But anyway, so we like the Bible, so we don't want to hear this about the Bible. I'm trying to show you guys that we'll be critically minded about every book of the Bible, not just the Gospels, the Old Testament. If a thing is ridiculous, we'll say it is ridiculous. You say, what gives you the right to say it is ridiculous? Say it's ridiculous because Noah is supposed to be a perfectly righteous epitome of all perfection person, and here we have this ridiculous story someone told about it. So, you know, which is it? Oh, you say, oh, well, he just had a little blip. No, the writer is writing this because he wants to curse Canaan. So that's what he does. He doesn't care anymore that it's about the great hero Noah. So he was drunk. Why? Because he was tending the wine, supposedly. And he was drunk, and then he uncovered himself, and Ham, and just in case you didn't get it, he repeats it, Canaan's ancestor. So, you know, he's just rubbing it in as deep as he can here. You know, he said it once, he says it again, you know, you got it? Canaan's ancestor, you know, saw or uncovered his father's nakedness and told his two brothers, Shem and Japheth, outside, who took a cloak and they both put it over their shoulders and walked backward. And they, presumably they threw the cloak over their dad's sexual parts. So I don't mean to be crude about it, but you shouldn't teach this to 5-year-olds. You know, this is for grown-ups and so on. Okay, so I've already told you the story, but now I can vividly illustrate because I found it here. So they throw a cloak, they're good guys. So Shem and Japheth are good guys, right? Ham's a bad guy. Why? Because he didn't do this. So you say, well, I didn't see him do anything. No, we didn't see him do anything, but the writer wants you to understand that he did do something. He took advantage of his father's sexual parts. He said, how do you know that? Because they did not uncover or see their father's nakedness. When Noah woke from his stupor, he learned what his youngest son had done to him. He did something. It isn't just that he came and said, hi, my dad's there, you know, naked. He did something to him. And you can use your imagination what the writer wants you to think. And then comes the climax. This is a Yahweh story, a really good one. It's a good story because you get it quick. A few brushstrokes and there you get to the point. Cursed be Canaan, he shall be his brother's meanest slave. So, Noah curses his son Canaan. Why would he curse his son Canaan? He must have done something pretty abominable to him. And I don't want to go any further than that. And then he added, blessed be Yahweh, God of Shem. So Yahweh, Yud-He, Vav-He, Jehovah, is the God of the Semites, God of Shem. Let Canaan be a slave. Third time, fourth time, Canaan's out. Well, I thought it was Ham who did this. Let Canaan be a slave. May God extend to Japheth. May he live in the tents of Shem. So Japheth lives in Shem's tents. May Canaan be his slave. This is a song. This is an old song. An old poem, an old ditty, which is why my Bible presents it here as a poem, and I like that. And then the abstract narrator cuts in and the flood, and after the flood, Noah lived 350 years, and all Noah's life lasted 150 years, then he died. That's the same narrator as, it was the evening, it was the morning of the first day. That's the abstract, ceremonial, theoretical, non-storytelling narrator, which is a different storyline according to scholars, maybe not according to religious-minded people, that's up to you to decide. Than the others. But look at that. Let's go back to this story. You see, you know how you hear